systems providers, you've got to make contact with these people, and having a representative from Scottish Government coming along to these meetings in the first place gives you credibility, which a small company would not normally have. His knowledge of the NHS, it's basically like a guide almost in a sense. So I think that gave us a really good head start.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's common in other, SPRI. I have no idea. I don't know how it operates, to be honest. But we've also, but over time you also develop really strong relationship with the other people. So, for example, I know the consultants well. I know the nurses well. I know admin. And now a lot of meetings I maybe won't go with David. But for new people, I'll say, "Oh, David, can you help? Put me in touch with someone. Do you know who looks after that? Have you heard about this policy? I hear there's another body which is doing such and such." So it's it's almost like a kind of a level of a vision of the organisation which someone from outside wouldn't have. So it's been very good. I think we've also been very lucky with David because he's got he's quite keen to get involved. Whereas I think maybe I don't know the experiences. I think some good, some bad. I think some are quite hands off. I think one of the projects, they maybe met their sponsor maybe once a month or something.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I'm just saying that, but I don't think it was as regular. So I think it varies. But certainly we've been quite happy.
Oh, wow, that's great. So now you mentioned this being like a co-design process.
Yeah.
And from what I know about co-design, it's about co-creating or designing something along with someone. Yeah. So who are the other stakeholders that you're designing this with?
So for example, even during the exploratory phase, we met with the consultant, the National Lead Clinician for Dermatology. We met with the nursing team, and we met with the administrators, some of the administrators, actually. So we had one big workshop during the exploratory phase, and we also had a series of one-on-one meetings with these different people. And then subsequently we've had very regular meetings, with most of these stakeholders. So I would say throughout the entire project. The teams we would meet would be the national lead, the clinicians. So clinicians obviously give you a kind of perspective on, the consultants, what they do.
Yeah.
You've also got the nursing staff. You've also got the health records people. Health records are the people who basically do the bookings currently over the phone. And you've also got the administrators who basically they do all the bookings within the clinics and how they manage the clinics. I think who else? E-health, as to how we'll deploy this. Yeah. The suppliers, because we use other, there's some suppliers who provide the data on the back end. So we need to negotiate with, we need to liaise with them to find out how we're going to receive data from them. But it's just meeting and workshop, and showing them, for example, yesterday I had a meeting with the health records team, and it was showing them what we've got thus far, and them going, oh, well, I think it'd be good if we had a timer on that, because we want to motivate people to act now as opposed to, I'll change that. And, for example, they're also saying, oh, we're actually changing that process, or we're about to change that part of the process. What are we going to do? And I'm like, I don't know. so you sit down and you go, what change are you going to make? When is it going to happen? Who's going to be impacted? What's the objective? What are you trying to achieve in doing this process? Okay, so how, and you just work through it. It literally is and then how do we implement that in the system. You know, what benefits can we do? And then I'll be going back in 2 weeks' time to do exactly the same, because you know, it's like
it's a continuous process. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, it's like it is iteration. The whole thing is iterate. You know, showing, you know, it's every time I meet, I'll show them a prototype or a screen or a, you know, a demo or whatever, and get feedback. But it can be. I think you don't always get everyone in the same room at the same time. In fact, you rarely get everyone in the same room at the same time. So you're maybe having to meet people from one department, then go around to the next person, go around to the next person. It's maybe, but I think that's because the NHS is massive.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, you know, it's just so big. I mean, the scale of it is incredible. And things that you think are really simple are not.
Are not simple.
There's an immense amount of complexity, and it takes time to build up your knowledge in that area.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think if you did try to have a workshop with everyone, certainly in the early days, you would look a complete idiot, because until you've built up a really good knowledge of the processes, you're just wasting people's time. You know, you should maybe go and meet one person and ask them and get an understanding of what they're doing, and then another and get an understanding. But until you've got knowledge of each individual, until you can piece things together, you don't want to have a workshop with everyone.
Yeah, waste their time.
Until you've got some base knowledge. Then it makes sense. But yeah.
Great. So I know that one of the issues that I sort of noticed during the last observation that I made on SBRI was the fact that sometimes there might be like a misalignment between the expectations of the challenge sponsor or even the client and the solutions or the solutions that are preferred by, you know, the innovation providers like you. Okay. So, one, has that been the case as far as your case is concerned? And two, how would you, recommend, in terms of averting such misalignment? What are the things that you recommend?
I think it's a fair question. I think when we come into this challenge right at the very start, we had one view of how we were going to solve this.
Okay.
And then over time, you kind of go, I don't know if that is going to work. And there was as I say, as our knowledge of the processes and the people and the ways in which things operated, and we realised that actually, there is such organisational inertia in the NHS. You can't just, it's a big organisation. You can't change things quickly. But even at an individual level, it's very hard to create change. And sometimes you have to just accept that and go with things as they stand just now and know that they'll evolve over time, as opposed to trying to change things, very, very quickly. But in answer to your question was, how is there a divide or is there a gulf between what we did and what the people expect? I would say no. I mean, you'll have to check with David, and you'll have to check with the consultants. I would say no, because we meet very, very regularly with the stakeholders.
Okay.
If they said, I'm doing something wrong, or I've gone in the wrong direction, well, one, I would change it, because that's the whole purpose of doing something agile, is that you've got that relationship and you are changing things, so you basically, we have a goal for what it is we're trying to achieve, and we're adding on new bits of functionality, each week and each month, and you adjust some parts of it, but ultimately your hopefully going in the right direction, and you're checking with stakeholders as you're going.
Yeah.
So I don't think anyone